Stay tuned for our next segment, which is going to be
Top news stories of the week.
Top news coming at you. So big in the news this week, and it's been a big issue for a few years now.
Yeah.
And that is police shootings. Now, more specifically in police shootings, is that it's specifically African Americans that are getting shot.
Yes.
It's not white guys. It's not Hispanics, really. It's African Americans.
Yeah.
Story this week: officer is off duty. He hears a commotion in his house or next to his house. He goes out with his service revolver and approaches the scene. The two officers on the scene tell him stop. They don't know that he's off duty. He identifies himself as off duty. They verify it. They tell him to come to them. As he's coming to them, another officer comes on the scene and shoots him.
Wow. Without knowing anything
Without
that's going
knowing
on,
anything
or
that's
what was
going
happening,
on. Without
just
knowing
like
anything
a
that's
knee-jerk
going
reaction.
on. Yes, knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. Well, and also
So-
the thing that happened recently of the cop getting acquitted, and that's why there was all these riots and some more demonstrations because he got acquitted for shooting the kid in the car, the black kid in the car.
Yes.
Which I had posted recently a video on that and the controversies on that.
And I have, forget about whether you're in the you should always comply with the police, blah, blah, blah. There's plenty of people that don't comply with the police that aren't getting shot.
Yeah.
They happen to not be African American.
Yeah.
But why is it? There's obviously something in training that is not putting, even if it wasn't, let's say it wasn't African Americans, let's just say that there's a lot of shootings by police officers on citizens. Why?
Yeah.
Because it should be, like the general rule should be, don't shoot people.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you're a police
they're
officer.
fear for their lives, and they've got a gun
But
pointing at them.
fearing for your life, I think it has to be more extreme than fearing for your life. It has to be, I have taken all of the escalating steps. The first response cannot be, here's my gun, I'm a little bit fearful, shoot you.
Yeah, shoot first and ask questions later.
There should be, have I taken all of these steps to de-escalate this situation? All of the non-violent, semi-violent steps that we can take, non-lethal, before we get to, I feared for my life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's, and I have friends who are police officers. That is part of the job that you're signing up for.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I'm a firefighter. There's a fire in that building. I'm not sure I want to go in.
I'm afraid of the fire.
I'm afraid of the fire. Of course you're afraid of the fire, but that's the job you signed up for. When you pull somebody over, you know that could be a risky situation, and you're going to take all the steps that you can to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But it can't start with, I don't know what's in your hand, so I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
Whether, because you're getting people that are getting, they don't have anything, they have a knife. If you have a knife, I don't need to shoot you. I just need to stay
back, get a little
farther away than your arm.
Yeah, I think there's too many other side of the stories of cops getting shot from these people that are in the car. I mean, I say these people meaning any people,
Right.
specifically, but and so they're going in afraid. I have cop friends also as well, and it is, I think it needs more training on that. Are they just so afraid they're going to just start shooting people, or are they thinking back to?
There is a specific state, and I'm sorry, we'll look it up, and I know in the magic that is Dave that he'll research it. There is a specific city that has had great success in retraining, and since 2015 have had no officer-involved shootings.
Wow.
So it can be done, and when you look at other countries, Great Britain being a good example, they have very specific tactics for, okay, we have an unstable person with a knife threatening people in the street. I've seen the videos, they're amazing. They go out and they've got the riot gear and they just make it so that person can't harm anybody or themselves, and then they find a way to just subdue that person.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's a horrible situation any way you look at it. Now, and specifically with the race thing, why is that? I don't know.
Yeah. Why is there a fear of a person of color automatically from the police force?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying from all. I'm just saying that there's obviously a trend there. And so perhaps that somewhere in training that is being not encouraged, but not disencouraged.
Yeah.
Is that a word, disencouraged?
Disencouraged.
Not unencouraged. So I think that we have to find out why and how do we take that and turn that around towards, it doesn't matter who that person is, what skin color they are. These are the steps for de-escalating this problem.
And comply. Because
Absolutely.
I think that's a big thing.
You do need to
Put your
comply.
hands
But
on
when
the
you
wheel,
hear
don't
about
move.
somebody that is complying, like this guy he very obviously is like, I have a weapon with me. I want you to be aware of it. I am not going to touch it.
But he did.
Did he?
Yes, he reached for something, his wallet or something. He should have put his hands on the wheel and waited for instructions to safely. He did the right thing, saying that he has it. He's got a concealed weapon permit, and they should train you on, if you're approached, this is what you should do.
Did he say, show me, wasn't there something about show me an ID?
Well, at first it was ID and registration, and he says, I have to tell you I have a concealed weapon. He's like, great, don't go for it. Don't go. He said it 3 times. I watched it. It's like 3 times, and he still was moving to something.
Yeah. But I think that even then,
who knows?
Even then, you've got
it could have been
you've got a controllable environment. You have a person in a car.
Yeah.
You have a person outside of the car.
Yeah.
Back away.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the line of fire.
Yeah, put your hands out the window.
I want you to put your hands out the window. The officer can back away to the edge of the rear left tail light where he's out of any line of fire.
Yeah.
And demand that person get out of the car or call for backup.
Yeah, and they have procedures on how to disarm somebody. Safe. I've seen them. I've seen them on there. There's actually instructional videos on how to do that. 2 fingers, or they tell you exactly how.
I want you to take the gun out, and I want you to put it out the window. I want you to drop it, whatever. But
we
that's
weren't
not what
there,
happens.
so.
We weren't there. It's very easy to second guess all of it, but
It's a shame either
it's
way.
happening over and over and over again, regardless of that particular case.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, what a beautiful dog. He said lunch.
You've got a very big dog.
Also, just so that you know, that Bardonna is where we're shooting, and it is animal friendly. Oh, we don't mind.
It's part of the live video shooting. We have a nice, beautiful little corky type dog over here, and
then we had a giant
all excited and
dog come in and was like, "Look, a playmate."
Exactly, a snack.
So yeah, and now do you have any people that you know on the police force?
Yeah, I have a few. Actually, it's a friend of mine from high school. He's a motorcycle cop, and he always chimes in on these messages as well.
Does he?
And on
That'd be good to hear from him.
in training.
Because it is difficult. I mean, in no way do I want to take away from anybody who serves on the police force. They pick a hard job, and I don't think it's an easy job. But I think that we can do better in how we equip them to handle situations.
Yeah. My grandfather was in the police force. He was a captain in LA, actually.
Oh, wow.
In LA, that was like a long time ago. They probably had different issues back then.
You probably did. And I think that you got away with a lot more than too.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be an issue on either side of us and them.
Yeah, no, we need to work together.
Police force. But I don't think that's necessarily encouraged or taught. And even in general violence, I think as a society today, we're not taking enough of a stand in don't be violent.
Yeah.
It's not a resort.
It'd be that easy.
Encouraging people to what are my options? What are the things that I can do in these situations that aren't violent?
Yeah. But you're always going to have the bad guys.
You are, but there should be less of that. There should be less. I mean, it's not just the bad guys. It's knee-jerk reactions, I think.
Yeah.
Instead of, you shouldn't have a knee-jerk reaction. You should have I know what to do in this situation, even if you've never been in it before. But that is the problem with having a gun.
That's right.
You have a gun, maybe you're going to use
guns kill people. Wait, no. People with guns kill people.
People with guns kill people.
That's true.
And people with knives kill people.
So be careful.
There's actually a comedian, I'm going to bring this up because I think it's hysterical.
Okay.
And he's like, I think we should bring knives back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because If you bring knives back and we get rid of guns so much, then less people get hurt when there's an incident.
Yeah, but then
Because it's a guy with a knife.
But except in like just recently in London, the guys that ran over people with their cars and got
They
out,
did have a
and
knife,
They
yeah.
got out and started to go running around
They were
stabbing
stabbing
people.
But if they'd had a gun, there'd be a lot more dead people.
They would have been probably shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you've got people with knife wounds.
Yeah.
And I think you're
more survivable.
More
I think.
survivable. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it takes more effort.
Let's bring knives back. I stole that from somebody else. It's not my bit.
Or swords.
Or swords.
We can go back to the.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
You could have like
samurais and stuff.
Maybe you could just bring duels back. Maybe that would end the whole problem.
You got a conflict.
You've got a conflict. You have to sign
take the
up.
gun.
There's a place. There's several places throughout the city. And you're like, okay, we're going to meet at duel station 4.
Yeah. Or instead of the knives and guns, why don't you just put boxing gloves on? These people want to fight? All right, get in a ring and beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
I think we could go more MMA style.
Okay, well, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Put 'em in a cage.
Put them in a cage.
We're going in the cage.
If you got a problem, work it out in the cage.
Work it out in the cage. Oh, I see it happening right now. I think we could move toward it. Cages dispersed throughout the city. You can have cage Saturdays.
That's right.
At Pershing Auditorium, cage Saturday.
Take care of it. You got a dispute?
Yeah, you got a dispute.
Take care
Come on
of it
down.
this way.
You're going to win a prize. You're going to win a big speaker sound system.
And we declare who's right.
Yes.
Whoever wins is the person that's correct in this conversation.
Even when they're not.
That's right.
Because you were tougher. No, that's not how it should go.
Because you're the winner.
So we're going to be back again with our next section, which I believe we're going to talk about some entertainment.
Entertainment news.
That's right. Coming up next.